Luigi Mangione, the man who fooled police, had me fooled as well. I thought maybe he wasn't the guy, but it appears that he is actually a very well thought out intellectual. Tons of Easter eggs people are finding online, the place where he was arrested, and all the evidence left at the scene. It appears to be for something larger. And he also appears very photogenic. The media can't post enough pictures of him, yet they want him to appear vicious and unhinged. So which one is it? Was he a mastermind that had a real message behind his actions? Or is he a deranged lunatic? Appearances can be deceiving. Now you're probably thinking, what are the Easter eggs he left behind? Will Luigi be found guilty? And what about jury nullification I keep hearing about? Except, you're not thinking any of that. You're thinking, holy shit, this heavy metal lawyer guy can really clean up. And it's true, I look damn good in a suit. But I just came from work, I'm kind of tired, and I want to slip into something a little bit more fitting for the channel. All right, much better, right? Let's not allow appearances to distract us from the message. That's what the media is trying to do here. They show pictures of him like this, looking wild, when the real footage is this.
Luigi, did you do it?
And it's completely out of touch. And the insult, the intelligence of the American people, and the lived experience.
And in case you missed it, he said, it's completely out of touch and an insult to the intelligence of the American people and its lived experience. Now, he could be talking about how they're portraying the upper class in the country, or he could be talking about how they're portraying him as a bad guy. But then I heard they found a manifesto of his where he basically confesses to everything and explains why and how he did it. Okay, so far the media is portraying this guy to appear like a Unabomber type, hooded psycho lunatic who scribbles his manifesto into a notebook or like in a bathroom stall or something. But appearance can hide the real nature of someone's intellect and intention, if you let it. So don't. This guy, Luigi, is from an affluent family. He was a valedictorian and graduated from UPenn, an Ivy League school. He's educated and he's rich, so he's not some disgruntled person who is unhappy about his own misfortune. He's a thinker. Cue the Easter eggs. Thanks to the obsessive nature of some people online, there's a bunch of little details that don't seem like a coincidence to me anymore when you connect them all together. The first one is the easiest, all right? The bullet casings from the murder had 3 words on them: depose, deny, defend. That's actually a callback to a famous book called Delay, Deny, Defend. And guess what it's about? It's about how insurance companies are intentionally harming the American public by totally screwing us over and making the claims process so complicated that we just give up. And what I haven't seen anyone else say about the bullet casings thing is that the killer knew he was gonna use at least 3 bullets, right? Because he pre-wrote 3 words on the casings. That's like super ultra planning. Next Easter egg. Luigi was arrested in a town called Altoona, Pennsylvania. That just happens to be the home of John Heap. Oh, you don't know who John Heap is? Well, he was the uncredited original creator of the board game Monopoly. And what was in Luigi's bag when they caught him? Monopoly money. Okay, now let's look at his Twitter because this is getting a little weird, all right? It's got 286 posts on it. All right. His social media banner was some Pokemon named Breloom. I'm not a Pokemon guy, all right? Pokemon people, please let us know. Apparently, that Pokemon is number 286 on the Pokemon Pokédex thing. All right. What is significant about the number 286 then? Well, it just so happens that 286 is the code in the UnitedHealthcare system when they put in the records that they denied a claim. That's what it means. 286 in UnitedHealthcare means they denied an insurance claim for a patient, leaving the patient to pay the bills on their own. Oh yeah, and he went biblical. Okay, check this out. In Proverbs 28 verse 6, 286, it says, "Better is a poor man who walks in his integrity than a rich man who is crooked in his ways." So yeah, it appears that he did it, and he had a message behind his actions, but it's pretty damn clear he did it. So does that mean Luigi will be found guilty? Well, let's assess the evidence real quick. First, I want to address his notebook entries and online posts. Can the prosecutors use those to convict Luigi? Well, there's a rule in evidence that prohibits hearsay from being used in court. You may have heard someone say something about that before. The hearsay rule prevents lawyers from using a statement made outside of court as proof of what the statement is saying. For example, we can't use Jenny's text message that was outside of court saying it's raining to then prove in court that it was actually raining. Instead, we need to bring Jenny into court so she can tell us whether or not it was actually raining. There are a bunch of exceptions to the hearsay rule, but the real threat to Luigi is something called the party opponent rule. It's not even an exception to hearsay, really. If your opponent in a trial has made out-of-court statements, the evidence rules say that those statements are not under the hearsay definition. They're not hearsay. So they can come into court. So yeah, Luigi's online posts and notebook entries would be admitted into evidence because he is the party opponent of the prosecutors. But the prosecutors first have to prove that it's actually him who said it. They have to authenticate that he made those writings. But I'm gonna tell you guys, honestly, those are probably gonna come in, okay? Those statements are gonna be authenticated, they're gonna be admitted, and they're gonna be pretty damning, okay? I'm not gonna lie. I mean, you've got the guy saying how he's gonna do it, why he's doing it, and all this stuff, come on. But hold on, there's another rule here. In criminal law, there's a rule that says you can't convict someone based on their statements alone. It's a rule called corpus delicti, which is Latin for, you guys ain't got shit. Corpus delicti is Latin for body of the crime. We use it to mean that we need evidence of a crime outside the person's admission. You can't just take the admission alone. Someone can't just walk into a police station and say, I killed a random healthcare CEO, and then we convict them on that. We need more evidence outside the statement. We need a body, or a gun, or video camera surveillance. Unfortunately for Luigi, there is other evidence, like a lot of it, okay? Bro, they found the gun in his backpack. It was the same gun used in the crime. He 3D printed it, but they're tying it back to the same type of gun that was used in the crime. They've got surveillance footage of him, well, someone that looks like him. I know a lot of people online are like, well, his eyebrows are a little different and all. Bro, it looks like him, okay? And then on top of that, they got the fake ID on him. The fake ID that was used to check into the hostel. They found the clothes that the killer was wearing with Luigi, including the COVID mask. Come on. Guys, they found his fingerprints on a water bottle and a Kind bar near the scene of the crime. You know those Kind bars, like the healthy bars? The type of bars you need to eat a lot of because like the insurance company's probably gonna deny your claim. And now the cops are saying they've got DNA evidence. They're not telling us what it is as of this recording, but come on. Guys, Luigi is pretty cooked, okay? Legally, that is. And I say legally because there is an illegal way that he could be set free. And I don't mean break him out of jail El Chapo style. I mean something we've been hearing about for a few days now. Something that is actually pretty poisonous to our justice system. It's something I don't like. It's jury nullification. Now, when I say jury nullification is poison to our system, I actually mean it. Why? Well, jury nullification is when a jury believes that a person committed a crime beyond a reasonable doubt, but they still vote not guilty to let that person walk free. Let me explain to you why that hurts our system. In the US, when you're a citizen, you are not required to serve in the military. Most countries require that. You are not required to do any type of civil service. Many countries require that. You're not even required to vote. You're required to do one thing: serve on a jury. Why? It's because our justice system is built on being judged fairly by your community, a jury of your peers. The justice system is also built on everyone in the courtroom doing their jobs faithfully. The prosecutor must only present evidence ethically. The defense attorney must zealously defend their client, no matter what they believe actually happened. And the judge must impartially rule on every evidence issue, motion, instructions, anything they give to the jury. So what is the jury's role in the system? The jury is required to faithfully follow the instructions of the court. They're required to faithfully follow the law. If the jury believes that a crime was committed beyond a reasonable doubt, they must vote guilty. And if it's not proven beyond a reasonable doubt, the jury must vote not guilty. And if they vote the person guilty, the judge must be fair in administering the sentence. They must take into account several factors. And if the sentence is up to the jury must also do the same and be fair. Legend, why is it so important that we find someone guilty if they committed a crime, even when we can understand why they did it? I mean, a lot of people commit crimes for different reasons. It's important for one reason: accountability. It's about validating to the victim or the families of the victim that this fact actually happened. Someone was actually murdered. We understand why, sure, but as a society, the jury's job is to validate the truth. That's what verdict means, the truth. This happened. Now, the justice system has to incorporate mercy, but the mercy comes at the time of sentencing. It has to come after the accountability. This person may have had their reasons to commit the crime, or maybe the crime wasn't as bad as other crimes that are similar. Whatever the case may be, the mercy stage has to come after the accountability stage. I mean, think about it. You can't say you're merciful to someone who you said didn't do the act, right? It doesn't make any sense. I'm being merciful, but I didn't think you did it. That doesn't make any sense. So yeah, jury nullification is poison to our system. Imagine if it went the other way. Imagine if a jury said, we're gonna do nullification. Yeah, we don't believe this guy committed a crime, but throw him in jail anyway. We would never be okay with that. But I wanna highlight something else here that's really important. The fact that we're even discussing jury nullification in a murder like this tells you something about our current state of mind as a country, as society, all right? This case, this story of Luigi Mangione and Brian Thompson colliding in such a violent way tells us that we've got some deep issues that we've got to discuss. First of all, they found this murder suspect within 5 days of the murder in a different state, when there are plenty of unsolved murders all over the country. It took Tupac's murder over 30 years to solve, and they didn't even technically solve it yet, and it was on the Las Vegas Strip during a Mike Tyson fight. Super crowded. And the only reason they're finally just saying that they know who it is because Keefe D was talking too much on a podcast. The American people are feeling a massive disparity in wealth distribution, healthcare distribution, and now justice distribution in terms of investigation. A CEO gets murdered and the killer is immediately found. A normal person gets stabbed, no killer found, no stabber found. Oh, and by the way, your insurance denied your emergency room visit, so your life has ended either way. We need to make some changes. We need to treat each other better, no matter what background or societal sphere we come from. Stop the grab. Stop hurting each other for the sake of some number going up. What do you guys think? Am I way off the cuff here? It seems like we all kind of feel the same things, and it's such a strange way for us to bring about these thoughts, but let's discuss them. And by the way, if you want to know my initial thoughts on this case and how much I hate dealing with insurance companies, click the video right here.